Good evening. Welcome everybody. Here we are again. This is February 13th, 2005. Formerly known as Meta News. We are Creators One News, and this is the Creators One News business segment, and I'm El Blanco. Okay, we've been doing this for a good minute now. We've been enjoying ourselves, and we've been enjoying our growth. We've been enjoying our expansion in here, and we've given out good content that people have really used, and they have praised us on certain things that we've talked about that they probably wouldn't have heard, wouldn't have taken this serious if if it didn't have such an impact when they actually back home and thought about some things. And some of those things that we talk about, yeah, we talk about a little politics here or there, and mainly my focus is always really on how we could take this experience, right, and take a presence and how we can turn it into economic foundation for ourselves. So one of my big pet peeves are people need to look at how the world advances every 2,000 years. They advance, well, every 1,000 years, but every 2,000 years, something major happen. And we have found ourselves now in the 21st century. And being that we're in the 21st century, we're literally doing things that we used to see on television, didn't even know it would be real. Like we actually occupying another space and time, but we're using the digital platform. We're actually inside of an avatar, and we're operating through the avatar. So the avatar is synced to our movements, is synced to our interactions and engagements, and it's only going to get better. Pretty soon, we're going to be able to have sense of smell and sense of taste and a lot of things that are coming. People are not even going to believe that we can do it, but they've already announced a lot of these technologies that they're working on. And for one of them that people don't know is they had another test on linking the brain, the binaural um, connection. I think that's something Elon Musk is doing, but they've already started working on that. So my particular goal in here is first and foremost educate people on what they can do in here and all the other platforms like this. Second of all, of course, I'm big on law. You have to know law, and if you don't know law, you will be controlled by people who manipulate the law. You will be disenfranchised by people who manipulate the law, and you will always be in a position of having to work for a living when all the technology available now where you can have the technology working for you. So we could have butlers and maids back in the day because we didn't have that kind of money. That's where that old money was at, right? But we can have bots, we can have search agents, we can have all kind of virtual assistant agents now. And I am from Jamaica, and now these virtual assistant agents now are in the form of AI. So once again, I'm going to be able to have one now that's going to be available, won't get sick, won't have to stop working when there's a calamity. We just got to invest in them. And speaking of that, um, I think I don't want to call out any names right now because I got this from someone else, but one person had their bot, right? We had one of those personal bots. They had it on. They were showing it off online, and they was having a conversation back and forth. This person was showing him that this bot knows me, is learning me, and it's conversation going on. And I have real conversations all the time with Gemini AI because I challenge it all the time because I have discovered that Gemini is one of those AI that you find on the browser that it really limits information, it censors information, and it tries to influence you otherwise when it on certain topics. And what do I mean by they try to influence you otherwise? Well, in my case, whenever I'm doing law, if I'm asking any kind of question that has nothing to do with the government, I don't have no problem everything I need. But as soon as I start asking and understand what any Supreme Court rulings that they could do this and so forth and so on, well, we'll start giving you all and if using AI, it should be able to take 2 to 3 minutes to do what it takes a person a whole day to do. It now causes me to have to ask it questions in so many different angles because I can tell when it's not giving me the right information, and I can tell when it's trying to for the longest. You're going to have to learn how to use AI now. It's not as simple as giving it a prompt and asking it to do this or asking it to do that, because AI has algorithms that's programmed to limit you to the extent of your own knowledge, right? And so, what that means you will have to do in that case, it means that you will have to get AI to take you beyond what you know. You have to inquire of things that you need to get an understanding of first and clear so that you can ask it specific questions you want to know. And then when it responds to you and give you a standard answer, even to your specific, then you can see that bless. You can know how to see that. You got to know how to understand that they just did that, right? And it's just knowing how to communicate, different skill sets we learned if you ever was in a Toastmaster group or Toastmaster class, or if you ever went to college and was on debate teams and learning how words are used and learning how persuasive speech is done. Just a matter of those type of skills. But with AI, you can get different types of AI. You can buy pro versions, you can buy higher level ones. You can spend $20 a month for one. um, that and then they have something they call jailbroken, just like they should jailbreak the Fire Stick so you can watch anything you want. Well, they have jailbroken uh, bots, search agents that can bypass all the censorship. So what I usually do now in order to make my search agent, my bot search agent, which is AI, to stop taking me into so many different circles, I specify do not take any information from any opinionated journals. I don't want academic opinions. I don't want to hear what they're debating. All I want is first, I want what you call primary. I want it from primary sources. If it ain't coming from the Constitution, it has to come from the common law rulings that the Supreme Court has done. If it's not coming from there, it has to come from the federal case that use common law or Supreme Court rulings. And if it's not coming from there, I want federal law on it, period. Because I'm not concerned with the states do at the state level, because every time the state is doing something bogus, you have to take them to federal as well. So for those that's here tonight, those things we talk about, it's typically, they do things on the weekend a lot, and just some days people go in there and talk. I may go in there. You may hear argument break out because it's just how it is. But I drop information in there, and then whenever I get a chance, I sometimes go to my school Gemini discussion hall. That's a world of mine that I go and I have a 4 people panel, including myself. And, and instead of it being a debate and people got to argue, you're going to really get the meat of the conversation. You're going to hear the information you need to hear, because we're going to talk about it. We're not going to let anybody on the outside derail it. They can't come on stage. They can take over. It's set up to where the information gets out. And so if there's people there that don't believe it, or they got a belief system, they don't want to hear it, or they want to challenge it, they don't get to do that there. I give them the opportunity, to have their chance. So until then, y'all, we're just gonna keep coming in here, and we're gonna be dropping topics that's gonna connect us to the outside world, or not saying connect us to the outside world. We're coming in from there, but what I'm saying is we're gonna have our ability to do what we're doing here. We need to be able to do it from a position of power. We need a real business model on the outside to to fuel this, and to link us to other businesses that will use us in here. And that's how I think that we should do to make it. Other than that, Horizon World offers its own opportunities to make money, and that's what we see people doing. So until then, thank you for tuning in. This is Creators One News. This is the business segment. I am El Blanco, and good night. All right.